Video games like Call of Duty, Doom, Fortnite, Mortal Kombat are 100% to blame for the increase in violence in our culture, in our society, and are behind some of the worst tragedies that people in the US have experienced. At least that's what TV reports and online articles will try to say in order to get more views, get more clicks, and things like that. But what is the reality? Because it can be scary with things like that happening, and when we're scared, we want to find an answer. So the reality is that a lot of psychologists have done studies exploring the link between violent video games and violent behavior, and what they've found is that there isn't as much of a connection as people want there to be. In fact, a lot of the connections we see that some articles will use to support their point will find things like minor increases in aggression, but leave off the part that those minor increases go away after a few minutes of the child no longer playing the game. So if you anecdotally, let's say you're a parent and you see your kid playing a game like Fortnite and they get really loud, they get really upset, they seem to be more aggressive, what's really going on? Is it the violent content in the video game? I would argue no. What I have seen, at least in my practice and in my work, of what's really going on is kids struggling with the competitive nature of those games. So when they're playing games like Fortnite, Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty, etc., they're not playing the single player campaign, they're playing online matches against other people who are of varying skill levels, and they're not doing well, which is making them feel frustrated, making them feel agitated, which, if you look at, potentially in sports and things like that, you can see similar behaviors. The difference is that with sports, you have coaches, you have other players and things like that that will help manage and regulate some of that behavior. Your kid might feel frustrated that he didn't do well in the baseball game, but he'll see his teammates and his coach modeling and encouraging better behavior, and so you're less likely to see that outburst. Whereas if he's at home with only himself around, you aren't getting that modeling behavior, and so you're seeing more of that aggression that would ordinarily come out. So what do we want to do? Well, if you are a parent and you are worried about your kid's aggression level with video games, the biggest thing that I can encourage is sit down and watch them play. Ask questions about the game, learn about it, and start having conversations with them about what they're playing, how it's making them feel, and how and where that frustration is coming from. Is it that they didn't do well? Is it that other people on their team didn't do well? Do they feel like another player was acting and engaging unfairly? And then you can talk to them about how to manage some of those feelings, because that is a lot of times what is missing. So in the case of violent video games, they're not really to blame. It is more so the level of competition within those games and kids not knowing how to deal with that type of competition and engage in a healthy way.